What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. It's episode number 91. We started today's episode off with a draw for the Champions League last 16, where Barcelona have got Spurs away in North London, so you know there's going to be an extra edge to that game after we spent 3 years with Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. Had some great North London derbies against Spurs, and we've left to Barcelona, but we can't avoid facing them once again. Yes, we got Spurs, Nuno's side in the last 16 of the Champions League, so quite excited for that one, to be fair. Should be quite a competitive tie. Do put us as favourites, but looking forward to it nonetheless. Still, for the first game of today's episode here, on the back of our win against Eibar in the last game, the last episode, we will take on Sporting Gijon with just 2 games to go in December in the calendar year before we go into our winter break here in Spain. And of course, as we've talked about it, we lost on the opening day of La Liga away at Real Valladolid. Since then, we've won almost every single game but 2, I believe, and currently sit top of La Liga. So what I want to do, heading into the Christmas period, heading into the winter break, is remain top of La Liga and keep Villarreal and Atletico Madrid at bay for now. If we're going to do that, we need to keep on winning. And if we're going to keep on winning, we need this guy to keep on scoring. Yes, 15 goals for Ansu Fati as he gives us the lead 33 minutes in. Top scorer in La Liga right now. What are the odds he's going to win the Golden Boot? Well, at the moment, his closest threat is his teammate, Moise Kean. So, leading by a goal courtesy of our top scorer. And then 41 minutes into the game, when Moise would say to Ansu, I'm not letting you go just yet. Bilbao Arteta with a lovely through ball to the Italian. First time finish, finds the far corner and doubles our lead right before the break. And I mentioned very briefly in the last episode, Bilbao Arteta, I like this guy. Picked him up on a free transfer. He's got the exciting prospect tag. I've played him left mid, I've played him right mid. He was playing right mid in this game. I've played him as a centre-back as well, and he set up not only goal number 2 but goal number 3 as well. As Ansu Fati and Moise Kean kept looking at each other saying, yeah, I'm going to get more goals than you this season, bruv, trust me on that one. But great cross by Bilbao Arteta to the back stick, and there's Kean for, there's Fati for his second goal of the game as we went 3-0 up directly from kickoff. So Barca 3, Sporting Gijon 0, and then 4 minutes after the restart. This has got to be probably my favourite goal I've scored in the entirety of FIFA 21. Leaving it until late August to get it as well. I love it, but yeah, this is probably my favourite goal I've scored in FIFA 21 so far. Great ball by Ricky initially, let's be honest here. What a great defence split through ball, but then Dembele, oh my goodness. Gracious me, the Berber spin, the fake Rabona, the rainbow flick after the last defender, and then when you talk about composure, that's composure. Little dink over the oncoming goalkeeper and into the bottom corner to make it 4-0 Barcelona. And this was just one of those games where I was kind of feeling myself, if you know what I mean. I don't know if you guys have these games yourselves where, like, you just feel totally at one with the controller, if that makes sense. I know it sounds a little bit nerdy, but you just in complete control. And you just feel like everything you're going to do is going to give you a positive outcome, you know. You just feel like you can just do a lot of flair stuff, a lot of skillful stuff, and you're just going to be able to carve open your opponents with ease. That was certainly the case in this game. Marc Cucurella got goal number 2, or possibly 3 for the season, with 10 minutes to go, making it 5-0, and a dominant win there against Sporting Gijon, and a message sent out to Villarreal and Atletico Madrid, our closest title rivals thus far. We are the top dogs in La Liga right now, and we're not letting go of that tag. So yeah, big win there against Sporting Gijon, and then following that, as you can see, got some news here saying that Pedro Porro is returning from injury, so delighted with that. He's been out for 4 weeks, so glad to get him back in the team. And also 4 players can leave on free transfers come the end of the season. Conrad de la Fuente, Chadi Riyad, Thiago Moraes, and also Iñaki Peña, who is our backup goalkeeper as well. Now, to be honest here, I wouldn't be against giving new contracts to all of them. They're all in their early to mid 20s, and yes, I'm going to say 27 is mid 20s because as a 28-year-old, I like to think I could still possibly consider it in my mid 20s right now, but maybe I should just give it up. But even so, I like Peña as a backup goalkeeper, but I would like a better one, to be honest. 77 overall, 27 years old, probably not going to get much better now, so I might let him go on a free transfer. You know, Riyad seems like a decent young centre-half, but I'm not sure just how much better he's going to get. And as for Thiago Moraes, again, decent squad striker, but he's never going to play in this team, as we know. And as for Conrad de la Fuente, the American, well, I like him as a squad winger, you know, 78 overall, but it is worth pointing out he's joined Marseille in real life, so for realism, it's probably best to let him go on a free transfer and not keep him here. So I think I probably will let the players decide for themselves. If they want to stay, that's cool, and we'll negotiate a new contract at the end of the season. But if they want to leave, then I'm fine letting them go on free transfer. So really, I'm just going to leave it to the players. Do they want to leave in January and go at the end of the season on a free transfer? That's totally fine. Otherwise, we'll see what happens come the end of the season. Still, for the second of 3 games in today's episode, Sevilla away from home, back in the team and already putting his mark on the game. Pedro Porro gave us the lead with a lovely piece of skill and finish as well, and then set up the second back heel to Mikel Oyarzabal, who finished from a close range to make it 2-0. And then in stoppage time, again, I was talking about it in the last game against Sporting Gijon. This is just one of those days where I was just really feeling myself, man. This goal was brilliant. Nice little 2 karate kick passes into the path of Ansu Fati. The little piece of skill and then a chip over the goalkeeper as well for our 3rd of the game away at Sevilla. What a win in Seville. 3-0, and again a statement made, because 1 game away from the halfway point in the season. We've now opened up a 4-point gap on Atletico Madrid, and with 5 clear of Villarreal as well. 49 goals in 18 games, and it's not one bit surprising. The surprising factor is that we do have the best defensive record in the division, which is quite a surprise considering how poor we've been defensively this season, but it is true. Recently I have picked my defense up a little bit, but right now 15 points clear of Real Madrid, who of course won La Liga last year, thought they'd be our main title threat this season, but instead it's again Villarreal and Atletico. And at the moment we're keeping them at bay courtesy of some big wins and a lot of goals getting scored as well. Still at the top scorer charts in La Liga, as we see Moise Kean leading the way in terms of assists, but he's playing catch up to Ansu Fati, who currently leads the way with 17 goals in 18 games. Look at the amount of Barcelona players, by the way, in the top assist charts right now with 49 goals. That's not a real surprise, I guess. And Ter Stegen is leading the way for the Golden Glove, 7 in 18 for the German. Whether he gets it or not, I'm not entirely sure, but I would like to win the Golden Glove with him this season. I tend to normally see my goalkeeper win the Golden Glove most seasons in my CM say, so I'd like it to be this case in our first season with Barcelona as well. And look, our fixture for January as well. Once we come out from the winter break, we've got Malaga, Getafe, I think it's Espanyol, our final game of January as well. Plus, of course, Real Madrid in the Supercopa as well. And as the transfer window does open, this is what it means. As Sesko, Figueira, Sterling and Botman all leave the club, £200 million is available for the January transfer window to spend if we want to, and we definitely will bring in 1 or 2 players. With those 4 players going there, most noteworthy Sterling and Botman as well. You look at our team now, we have of course naturally seen a reduction in our quality in terms of squad depth, but the first 11 remains unchanged. The bench is still really strong, and I'm thinking again, if we are to bring someone in this January window with ridiculous amount of money to play with, £200 million, where do we look to strengthen? You could possibly say wide midfield. And I know we've got Trincao, I know we've got Oyarzabal as backup wingers. When I say wide midfield, I don't mean those wingers in Dembele and Fati, Trincao and Oyarzabal. I mean Pedro Porro and Marc Cucurella. Maybe someone like that can do the job on defensive and the offensive end. I'm thinking possibly bringing back Junior Firpo to the new camp. Maybe Angelino, not entirely sure. Possibly someone like that. I certainly wouldn't say no to another star-studded offensive player, though with 49 goals in 18 games. We probably don't exactly need one. So I don't really know, to be honest. Or the question is, do we leave 200 million in the budget and then have a ridiculous transfer to play with in the summer once that money carries over? Do you know what? I'm not entirely sure. But as the month goes on in January, we'll think about what we want to do and where we want to reinvest that cash on the back of selling those 4 players there. Still, for the third and final game of today's episode, this will be the El Clasico Supercopa semi-final. Real Madrid won it last season after Barcelona finished trophyless in the last campaign. So heading to the Bernabeu to take them on here. There wasn't really much going on. There was one chance in the first half. Cucurella denied it was still 0-0, and then 67 minutes in I made a really stupid rash challenge with Tasoba as I tried to prevent Real Madrid from going 1-1 with Heung-min Son. Ter Stegen made a great save, but I shouldn't have lunged in. I should have trusted the German between the sticks, tried to put him off, bad decision. Real Madrid penalty. Ter Stegen may have saved it, but once we went down to 10 men, and rightfully so, Tapsoba getting a straight red card, it was backs against the wall, and I knew Real Madrid were going to find a breakthrough at some point. They would. Vinicius stepping in from the left made it 1-0. Drilling it past our goalkeeper and giving the host the lead, and then with 5 minutes to go, still traded by a goal. To be honest here, the game was basically done, and after Timo Werner played a great through ball to find Vinicius, this was just absolutely glorious. I scored a couple of nice chip goals in this episode, but this one was probably the best of the lot. Absolutely brilliant from the Brazilians. He bags his brace and wins the game for Real Madrid, wraps it up there 2-0 at the Bernabeu, and they're through to the Supercopa final as they aim to retain it. Vinicius with 2 in 9 minutes. Real Madrid leave bit late, but get what was in the end, let's be honest here, a deserved win. So 2-0 the final score, and there we go. The board of Arsenal in the treble this season. The Super Copper is not included, so naturally I'm not that disappointed, but I do want to win something this season, and 1 trophy from 4 is already down. But that was this episode of the Realistic Career Mode, guys. So big thank you. Fortunate if you have enjoyed it, and if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Realistic CM with 200 million in the transfer window to spend very soon.